How does fertility-informed consent differ globally? Imagine trying to plan a trip without knowing the destination or the rules of the road. That's similar to navigating fertility treatments in different countries. Informed consent is all about making sure patients understand what they're agreeing to, but how this process looks can vary a lot around the world. In some countries like the United Kingdom, the process is very structured. The Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority oversees clinics to ensure they follow strict rules. Patients are given detailed information about the procedures, risks, and what happens to embryos. This includes consent for genetic testing and embryo storage. The goal is to make sure everyone understands their options and the potential outcomes. In Australia, laws are set at the state level but follow guidelines from the National Health and Medical Research Council. These guidelines cover consent for donor eggs or sperm, surrogacy, and embryo use. They aim to protect patients and ensure clear communication, but the specifics can differ from one state to another. Canada has a more complex system. Federal laws exist, but most regulation is handled by provinces. This means the details of informed consent can change depending on where you are. Some regions might have more comprehensive consent forms, while others may leave more room for interpretation. Hungary has strict rules about who can access fertility treatments. They limit access based on marital status and sexual orientation, and they have specific rules about donor anonymity and embryo transfer. These rules influence what patients are told and what they can consent to, especially regarding genetic testing and embryo use. The content of informed consent also varies. In some countries, patients must be explicitly told about pre-implantation genetic testing, which screens embryos for hereditary conditions. Countries like Germany and Austria have historically been cautious but now allow PGT under strict conditions, mainly to prevent serious genetic diseases. The consent process often includes information about embryo storage, whether donors' identities are kept anonymous, and if surplus embryos can be used for research. Cultural and ethical values shape what information is shared. Some societies emphasize reproductive autonomy and embryo rights, which affects how much detail is given about embryo creation or genetic choices. Others focus more on the woman's health and autonomy, influencing what risks and options are highlighted. For women with endometriosis, these differences matter a lot. Endometriosis can cause complex fertility challenges, and treatments often involve assisted reproductive technologies. In countries with thorough regulation, patients usually receive detailed counseling about how their condition affects fertility, the risks of ovarian stimulation, and the possibilities of genetic testing. This helps them make informed choices that suit their health and values. But in regions with less regulation, patients might get less detailed information, which can impact their understanding and decision-making. Overall, global differences in fertility-informed consent reflected diverse laws, cultural attitudes, and ethical standards. These variations shape what information patients receive about procedures, genetic testing, embryo use, and donor anonymity. For individuals with conditions like endometriosis, understanding these differences is key to navigating their fertility journey confidently and making choices that align with their personal and medical needs. Always remember to consult healthcare professionals for personalized advice, as each situation is unique and medical guidance is essential.